Hello everyone. The title of this poem is Today I Wrote This Poem. It is by Ken Nesbitt. It is an amusing poem in which the poet has beautifully described his poetry writing skills as well as experience. Today I wrote this poem, but I am not sure if it is good. It doesn't have the things my teacher says a poem should. In this stanza, I refers to the school child. He writes that he wrote a poem that he was not sure if it was good enough as it doesn't contain elements or the poetry stuff that a poem should have, according to his teacher. It doesn't share the feelings I have deep inside of me. It hasn't any metaphors and not one simile. In this stanza, the poet wants to say it doesn't share his feeling, his deep feeling. In the poem, there was no figure of speech such as metaphors and similes. Now, what are metaphors? Metaphors are the words or phrases that describe a thing by calling it something else. It means word or phrases that describe a thing by calling it something else. For example, my puppy is an angel. We are comparing puppy with an angel. Now, simile is a phrase that compare one thing to another using words such as like or as. When we use word like or as, then this will be simile. Now, it hasn't any metaphors and not one simile. It is missing any narrative. Narrative means storytelling. There was no narration. Alliteration too. Now, alliteration is repetition of the letter or sound which create a musical effect. Repetition of letter or sound. For example, Billy is a big boy. Here B is repeating. Now, it isn't an acrostic, diamante or haiku. There was no narration and alliteration was also missing in this poem. The poem didn't belong to any set of genre. The poem could not neither be classified as acrostic nor diamante or haiku. Now, acrostic means a poem in which the first letter of each line can be read downwards to form a word. That is usually the topic of the poem. A poem in which the first letter of each line, when we read downward, it forms the word that is usually the topic of the poem. Clear? Now, diamante is a poem of several lines where the text forms the shape of diamond. Haiku is a traditional Japanese style of poetry with 3 lines and usually 17 syllables. Now, the poem could not be neither be classified as acrostic nor diamante or haiku. Now, there is nothing that is personified. It doesn't have a plot. I am pretty sure that rhyming is only thing it's got. In this stanza, poet writes about other essential poetic and literary elements missing in the poem. The poem didn't have personification. Personification means to compare with human qualities. To compare something with human qualities. And plot. It doesn't have any plot or theme. The only poetic element it has was rhyming scheme. Now, it sure was fun to write it and think it is not long enough. It is just too bad it is missing all that great poetic stuff. In this stanza, the poet defends his poem by saying that he liked writing it. It was long enough. But he regretted that he could not put all the literary elements in it, which the his teacher will found missing. Now, I put it on teacher's desk and wow, she made a fuse. She handed back my poem with an A++++. In this last stanza, the poet is proud of the fact that when he handed in the poem for evaluation, the teacher gave him A++++. In spite of making all the above mentioned views, that means his teacher likes his poem. She enjoy it, reading it, and appreciate her style of writing. That's all for today. Thank you.